Good morning and welcome back to Coffee and Headlines. Today is May 7th, and if you're here for the first time, my name is Paco. We get together every morning to exchange news about headlines and news and stories that affect Puerto Vallarta's English speaking community one way or another. And we also share thoughts and ideas to keep ourselves inspired and comforted through these challenging new times. We have a special guest today. We're going to go right ahead into an interview. Our special guest has been voted as Canada's best independent artist by fans at CanadianMusic.com. She has been a five-time West Coast Music Award nominee, winning Best Independent Recording Award, and she is a singing sensation that continues to win over legions of new fans around the world with each performer. And she's here to tell us about a special surprise she has for us this weekend. We welcome Kim Kuzma to the show. Kim, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks, Paco. Thank you.
So, first
Hi,
of all,
everyone.
please tell us where you are and how are you doing? Are you okay? Are you safe?
Oh, I'm great. I'm actually in Penticton, Canada, in the Okanagan,
Mhm.
and I'm with my mom, and it's long overdue to be spending time like this together. So it's been really nice, actually.
Now, usually you would be spending time in Maine, if I recall correctly, because you go and spend time in
Absolutely.
Algonquin. I can imagine that there's very little going on in Algonquin right now.
Yeah, it's tough. I sing at the front porch in Algonquin, and so they're exactly. It's a restaurant piano bar, so they're doing takeout and delivery and doing all they can to make things continue to happen. So
Now,
impressive.
you've been spending so many years building a musical relationship with some of your band. Uh, it must be challenging for you to be far away from them now.
It is actually. Yesterday we rehearsed for we went over and practiced for about 3 hours and online. And I started singing one song, and people who know me know I'm a mush. I literally started crying. It's like, I miss these guys. They become your family. Sometimes you all want to kill each other, but they're your family. And I really miss just simply being around them. Never mind playing together. It's just, we have a lot of fun.
Mhm. Now, you have something special prepared for this weekend, for Sunday. Please tell us about that.
Well, I came up with an idea to do a show, Music Has No Borders, which it doesn't. And so I thought to do a show online. So it'll be 5 o'clock on the West Coast, 7 o'clock in Puerto Vallarta, and 8 o'clock on the East Coast. But it's myself, Eduardo Leon, Roberto Falcon, and Luis Rascon. And it took 3 days to figure out how to make this platform work properly. Um, and we're making it happen. I just pray with the gods of internet that that there's no issues. But I do stress it's we'll be doing songs from our show from the past years and stuff. I do stress that people watch it live because we have found that once it's posted, it can lag a little bit. So please watch it live while we're doing it. That would be great. And we're just going to try and do the best we can. It's to try and make some money for the boys and support them. So that's the main issue,
Something that I
main
want
reason.
to Thank you. Something that I want to emphasize so that our audience is aware of this is the fact that you are in Canada, your musicians are in Puerto Vallarta, and this is something that we haven't seen locally. It is one thing is to do live broadcast with everybody in the same room in the same
Yeah,
city with the same internet account,
yeah.
and you're in Canada, your musicians are here, and we're all praying to the internet gods so that this is successful. What Who is putting this together for you? This is amazing.
Well, I mean, I came up with the idea and I learned of this platform. And so tried it with Eduardo first online, back and forth, see how it was working out. And then my dear friend Alex Bourgeot, he's been helping me watch it from the other end. We tune him in as well. And he's kind of like our sound man to see what it sounds like coming from someone's home because it's all in your earbuds. I mean, I'm in my mother's home. I don't have a studio like many people have, or a club, or anything like that. So I'm literally have this microphone that it plays music through the mic, but it has a little bit of an echo on it. So I'm using that microphone for some effects that goes through my earbud microphone of my Apple earbuds. I mean, it's like I'm just I'm trying to make honey out of dog poo. You know what I mean? Out of the situation. So
But I mean,
it's not really true. It's not.
I think it's wonderful that you're challenging and empowering yourself to creating opportunities to learn new skills. And I am sure that you and your musicians will also benefit from this one way or another. Now, I understand that you're looking for donations for, or you're looking for people to PayPal. Tell me a little bit about that aspect of the production.
Well, I mean, normally we obviously we charge to see our show and stuff, and the key thing is I want people to enjoy themselves. I mean, I understand everyone's struggling right now, but there are people that have seen our band that have written me and said, "How can we help? You know, we love the guys. How can we help?" So rather than me talking about it during the show, it's easier to just have all the information, and we're accepting donations through PayPal, US, PayPal Canada, and Venmo for people in the States. And if you do just e-transfers from a Canadian account, that works as well. So I'm trying to cover all bases.
This is really wonderful. As long as you're here, let me show you some of the comments. Well, you cannot see them because you're having a conversation with me, but your fans are around. Logan Miller says, Buenos dias, excited to hear about Kim's
Ah,
project for this weekend. You guys are looking good. We have a hello from Marquez from Mexico City. Good morning, Paco and Kim. Um,
good morning.
Logan says it's an awesome endeavor. We Marge Haney, who's a regular in our show, says looking forward to hearing your voice again this Sunday. Georgia
Thank
from
you.
Casa Karma is sending you love. Um,
Oh, George.
yes, there's a lot of fans. I mean,
Oh,
it's
thank you.
been a long journey for you in Puerto Vallarta. Kim, how long ago did you start this ongoing chapter in your life?
15 years ago. I met Mark Rome. I literally went there for one night. Went there for one night with my dear friend John and to audition. And Paco, I was so excited I forgot my backing tracks. All I brought was a CD, so I was singing harmonies to my CD to a room full of gay men. I was terrified, absolutely terrified. I thought they'd shred me and put me through a shredder and spit me out. But yeah, I love Vallarta and I love the music. I miss the culture, everything.
Now, in your musical adventures, you've done everything from ABBA to Donna Summer to Barbara Streisand. We've shared the stage together at least once or twice, and that is something that
Yeah.
brings a lot of pride and joy to me. What kind of music?
Thank
What are you going to perform this weekend? Can you give us some ideas of where the choice of songs is going
you.
to go?
Sure. We're going to do songs from British Invasion, our last show this season. And we're doing songs from the CDs that we've recorded 3 CDs together. And then we're doing stuff that we've done from, 6 years ago to 7 years ago to now. So we're just kind of spreading it out over the years of what we're doing.
This is
And it's
wonderful.
to try them for the guys. Like, did we do that song? Yes, we did.
Now, how do you go about putting together these different shows that you've been offering through the years?
I gotta tell you, Paco, it's very interesting. It's like you have to have not a gimmick, but it's almost nowadays you have to make it very simple for people to know what they're getting, which is understandable. It's marketing. So to just do a show and not really have a theme to it, you have to have a theme these days. And sometimes it's just sitting around thinking about the stuff that you like, how you can make a theme out of that. Or my dear friends, like Misconception is just a million ideas all the time. So I talk to him a lot. Um, you just try and base it around stuff that you like and come up with a theme around that. So I love British artists. I love the music that comes from England. So that's
That's
how I made it the last show.
that's really wonderful. Rita Meyer says, "Hello, Kim.
Hi, Rita.
Let's see. Tim Longpre says, cannot wait. Kim Kuzma. Dale
Yeah.
Boyadi. I'm sorry, Dale, if I fluffed your last name. Dale says, hi, Kim. Looking forward to Sunday night. Gail Fuller says, hi, Kim. You're looking great. Stay safe. Alain Perot says, I remember Kim in a bar restaurant 15 years ago on Cardenas singing with her boombox on the bar. Times have changed. Ah.
Oh
Now,
God,
let
one
me
day we'll
ask you
forget all
something.
that.
This is really important. I have a question because the banner, I've been flashing a banner that says that you're going to be performing on Sunday, May 17th. But you're performing this Sunday, correct?
I'm this Sunday, yes.
Yes. Okay.
Um,
Then I should.
oh, did I send you the wrong banner?
Well, don't worry about it, Kim. Don't worry about it.
I
People.
had two. I
You
had
know,
two.
just breathe. Don't worry about it. The world is fine, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh,
I
I'm
just
so
noticed
sorry.
that too. I just noticed that too. It says
Thank
the
you.
17th. Thank you very much,
It's
Rita
May
Meyer,
10th.
for pointing that out. Yes,
Rita,
the
thank you.
show is this Sunday. It's Mother's Day in Mexico. Is it Mother's Day in Canada on Sunday or what?
Yes, it is.
Uh-huh.
Yes, it is.
So how fun that
I
you're gonna.
apologize.
Oh, don't worry about it. I'll make sure that we send out the correct information in the show notes. So
Okay.
you're singing with your mom by your side. Is she gonna appear on stage when you're doing your show? It is Mother's Day.
Yeah, I definitely will. I can hear her in the background. No, she definitely will. I'll have her up on my no stage with me. Yeah, she's she's a little pumpkin, and she's becoming more like than I am when I bring her in on the shows, dancing with me, and yeah, we have a lot of fun together. I'm going to try and make her sing
um, you should invite her to come say hello to your fans.
right now.
Hell yes.
Mom, she's in her pajamas, Paco. She said,
You don't want to
"I'll bring her
know.
out on
You don't want to know what I'm wearing under my waist. So let's
wearing sweatpants."
there you go. I'm wearing my pajama shorts as well. Now, Kim,
Yeah.
what's going to happen? I mean, nobody knows what's going to happen, but do you have any sense as to what your strategy is going to be for the next few months? Have you been in touch with the Palm? What do you hear? What do you know?
Well, I've been in my first gig would be in Maine, and so I've talked to the owner there, my boss there, and they're definitely wanting me to come out. We just don't know exactly when that will be. We don't know how many shows a week that will be. I think that's the uncertainty for everybody right now is just not knowing. And then after that, I've talked with Mark Rome as well concerning Mexico. Just everything's so up in the air right now. I think this is the strangest time we've all been through. I don't know anyone who can plan ahead right now.
Hmm. Now, tell me something. I'm sure that being in isolation like the rest of us, you've watched your share of live performances just to see what other people are doing. Um, in the spirit of offering other performers some inspiring feedback, what would you say you could recommend to any musician out there who's trying to remain engaging while they're doing a live performance like yours?
I really don't have, geez. I mean, I don't have any advice to give Papa because we really only have what we have available to us. So, if you're talented and you have a voice, you just sing in a room. If you have fans, people that support you and love you, they'll listen. I think just to be authentic in your performances, have fun, be engaging. Um, I think authenticity goes a long way these days. Can really tell if you're enjoying yourself, if you have talent, all those kinds of things. Look at it. Look at The Voice. Look at American Idol right now. You can actually really hear their voices now because there's no effects. There's no, stage lighting, dancers, whatever. But I think just be authentic with what you're doing, and people will listen. I make it simple.
Okay, and then your Sunday performance, it's going to be through your Facebook page.
Right. It'll be through my Facebook page, my personal Facebook page, my Kim Kuzma Live Facebook page, the music page. I'm going to do it through Instagram as well, and we're hoping to put it on YouTube as well. But don't watch it through YouTube yet. But
Okay, so the
yeah,
idea
so
is to get all of the audience, or as much of the audience as possible, on the Facebook page.
exactly.
Kim, I think you're going to have a huge success in your hands. It's a new challenge. We haven't seen people doing live streams that involve different cities. So I am sure that this is going to be a huge inspiration for other musicians to start collaborating this way.
Thank you. Hey, Paco, can I just give a quick shout out to a friend that's helping people down there?
Of course
Do we
you
have time?
can. Of course you can.
Okay. Uh, I just want to give a shout out to my dear friend Sam Kress, who has started Angel's Kitchen in front of Guadalupe, the Guadalupe Church, at the gazebo. She's helping the people that are slipping in between the cracks that really need to eat, and she's providing a daily meal at the gazebo, and she's cooking all the food in her own home. And I can put up stuff on my Facebook page as well, how if people want to donate towards her, and yeah, if anyone wants to find out more, I'll put the information on my page and
Mhm. No,
give
and
it to you if you want it.
please feel free to share this information with me right after we're done with the interview, because then I can append it to the show notes. So
Okay,
everybody that's
that'd be
watching, I'll make sure that in today's show notes you're going to get the exact Facebook page where Kim is going to be doing her show this Sunday on Mother's Day, and you have, let's see, Darlene is asking if it's going to be on your Facebook page. Yes, Darlene, I'll make sure that we post that information. Claude Chanette is saying good morning. Tim Longpre must be a huge fan of yours, because he has been
dear friend.
sharing all this wonderful information as to where we can find your performance this Sunday. It is
Thank
so
you.
nice to see that you have a lot of adoring fans, Kim. Um,
I've known Tim since 15 years ago, so we go way back. So
I remember meeting Tim as well a long, long time ago. And I remember when I met you, I was just so overwhelmed by all this talent that comes out of your mouth and when you dance, and the way you have spent so much time with your musicians, it shows, and it is absolutely wonderful.
thank you
Thank you so
much.
much for joining us, Kim. Break a leg this Sunday, and I am sure we will talk to you. Well, not literally, but
I'm a do
yeah, no.
it.
Have a great performance, and please come back to let us know how it went.
Please, thank you very much. Everyone, just share the post. Do start a watch party while you're watching it. It goes right to your page, and everybody else can watch it too. So thank you very much.
Excellent. Have a great
Stay
day.
safe.
Okay, bye bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Excellent. So here we are. We had a nice little get together with Kim. If you've never seen her, she is just such an amazing performer. I've had the pleasure of both seeing her a number of times as she performs live in town, and also she has been a guest in a couple of music performances that I have produced in the past. So it's always nice to support local musicians, particularly when they're helping each other. And the music, the pool of musical talent that we have here in Puerto Vallarta is huge, and it's very varied, and everybody is looking for income and performance opportunities. As always, it's so great to see so many of you. I'm going to skip my individual hellos in favor of starting to share a few headlines with you, because there's all kinds of things that we want to be mindful of. First of all, the number of cases in Puerto Vallarta continues to increase. Puerto Vallarta is now the second destination in the state with the highest number of cases. Needless to say, some of this has to do with people's reluctance to follow the stay-at-home guidelines. There's only so much we can do, and I know that it can be very challenging and frustrating when we're out and about. And I know that at least one of us, myself, is sometimes inclined to want to slap people around when I'm out and I see that they're not following the guidelines, because this affects us all. So if you see people that are not following guidelines, just take a deep breath and find a way to think about whether you're taking care of yourself, you're taking care of the guidelines, and if you're in a position in which you can gently encourage somebody to follow guidelines, by all means, go right ahead. It is good to know also that all the cemeteries in the city are going to be closed, actually for Mother's Day this weekend, but for during the whole month as well. Mother's Day tends to be a time in which a lot of people visit graveyards for obvious reasons, but the city has decided to close down the graveyards. Yesterday, we were talking about Grupo Elektra and how they are refusing to follow the federal orders to close down the stores. Again, we mentioned this yesterday because I offered the possibility that this might be related to the fact that local supermarkets and stores like Costco are not selling everything they used to sell because some of the products are not considered to be essential. I still haven't seen any news items from other parts of Mexico that suggest that this is a federal occurrence. I still don't know whether it's a local thing or it's a national thing. And I'm continuing to keep an eye on this because we all feel it's a little puzzling that you can go into the supermarket and buy certain things but not others. All I can say is I'll keep an eye on this and I will continue to report as we see any kind of developments on this news item. Good news. We also learned that the production of beer will be resumed in Mexico halfway through the month, and not a moment too soon because the weather's starting to get a little bit on the warm side. I don't know if you've noticed that, but it's nice to see that beer will start being produced again in the near future. Um, I also read from El Heraldo de Mexico that the tourism industry in Mexico City is starting the implementation of a new standard, which is going to be called COVID free. I don't know if this is going to be some kind of inspection protocol or a sticker or what, but this is a new promotion that Mexico City and probably the rest of the country eventually will develop as a standard. Again, it's going to be called COVID free. Meanwhile, hotels in Jalisco are starting what they're calling El Buen Mes, or the Good Month. As you know, in the United States, the weekend after Thanksgiving, I think it's called Black Friday. It is a huge shopping weekend. In Mexico, we have El Buen Fin, which is short for El Buen Fin de Semana, which means the good weekend. It's a weekend around the same time as U.S. Thanksgiving, in which all stores promote special deals and special sales during that same weekend to stimulate the economy. Well, now hotels throughout the state are getting ready, are preparing what they call the Good Month. So I can see that this is going to mean that during the entire month of, and of course that's a big question. Everybody's talking about opening hotels, but nobody is quite telling us exactly when they're going to be able to do this. I'm going to scan through this article really quickly to see if they're talking about an expected month, and I don't see specific dates yet, but it is important to see that both the Hotel Association in Guadalajara, that the association that handles us old haciendas in Jalisco, and the Hotel Motel Association in Puerto Vallarta are working together to start developing this promotion to stimulate visitors and entice them to come and spend some time in our state, which will be very much needed. I also Well, it seems like we had a power shortage. I am very sorry if you're still here. We lost power, so I'm here. And again, I apologize. The whole power was gone. So I hope you're still here. I'm going to resume our broadcast, and I apologize for that. Yes, I am back. So anyhow, we were talking about local hotels, and we had finished talking about local hotels. I was getting ready to tell you about this very strange piece of news that comes from. Oh, I hope I can recover my internet access completely. Meanwhile, let me bring back my big screen. Oh, no, here we go. Um, Vox is reporting this very strange headline coming from Russia, in which Russian coronavirus doctors are mysteriously falling out of hospital windows. Can it get any weirder than that? I don't think so, but this is what Russian doctors are, Russian media is reporting. There are some theories as to why this is happening. Somebody is suggesting suicide, other people are suggesting um, some kind of, well, it's just fishy. You have to read it for yourself. Um, and moving on to leisurely stuff. Actually, before we do that, let me very quickly check in with you and see um, that you're still here. Again, I'm sorry, we seem to have lost power, and that's why I lost my broadcast. Let me see. Please don't go anywhere. Now I'm not being able to get to my screens anymore. Anyhow, let's see. You are all still here. No specific questions, no specific comments. Okay, just hello, everybody. Um, okay, as long as we're still here, let me continue with my headlines. And I'm sorry, all of a sudden my equipment is just behaving funny. Never have a power outage while you're doing live broadcasts from home. Anyhow, I was also suggested to share this piece of news coming from Broadway World, in which there's going to be a spotlight on plays coming online, in which I think this is on Broadway.com. I'm not sure, but we'll look through this news item in detail. But several important plays are going to be shared online, um, starting with Significant Other. That this is going to be available on May 14th, um, starring Gideon Glick, John Bellman, Sass Goldberg, Rebecca Naomi Jones, and other actors. Then the following Thursday, we're going to have Love Letters starring Bryan Cranston and Sally Field, and subsequent interesting plays that we're going to be able to enjoy online in the next few days. I'm going to share this with you as soon as we're done with today's broadcast. Um, I also wanted to let you know, if you're a ballet fan, the English National Ballet is sharing their production of Romeo and Juliet in its entirety through their YouTube channel. The production stars none other than Isaac Hernandez, who is one of their principal dancers. He is a Mexican dancing sensation from Guadalajara. He has been a lead principal with the company since 2015, and it is unfortunate that ballet is not as popular in Mexico, because he is truly an ambassador for Mexican culture. I also found out, unfortunately, that Netflix is planning to increase their prices starting on the month of in the month of June. The increase is going to be of 16%. I don't know what that translates to money wise, but I'm letting you know so that you can be mindful of that. Um, in a totally unrelated matter, I love beans. I know it's not a lot of people eat beans, but I love my beans. And I found this great article on best ways to use beans. And I'm going to share this with you because beans are good for you. So there you have it. And last but not least, nothing could have made me happier this morning
Here to perform
than
a
to
thousand
see
beautiful
a
things from her
video
album.
of Annie Lennox playing the piano. Um, from her home. She performed as a guest for Jimmy Fallon, and needless to say, we love Annie Lennox. As Kim Kuzma mentioned, she is one of those British invaders and a wonderful performer. And I've seen Kim Kuzma perform some of her music in a few of her shows, and she is amazing. Hopefully, she will include some of her some of her Annie Lennox repertoire. Um, this Sunday. So this is our show for today. Again, I'm sorry we lost power halfway through it. Um, as always, I will share all the show notes with you after we're done here. And as always, I hope you have a great day. Stay healthy, stay sane, stay inspired, and I will see you again tomorrow. Have a great one.